Good morning. Welcome to the segment of your training that focuses on the code of conduct and ethics. Throughout this session, I will refer to this as the code. Many of you will have reviewed other codes of conduct at previous employers. Most companies do have them. Today, I hope to help you understand what the code means to us here at the bank, and also how to incorporate it into your professional and personal lives. The code is not simply a tool to be pulled out of the drawer when something needs to be tightened up. Instead, we view it as a guide. It's used every day in every decision we make. If all of us incorporate the code into our daily lives, it will help us achieve our goal of being the better bank. So in our world, what does the code represent? The code sets a baseline of ethical standards that we are all required to comply to. It also establishes the standards that we govern how we deal with each other, our customers, our competitors, and the public in general. It is a part of the terms and conditions of your employment with the bank. It's also intended to help us meet expectations and assess decisions according to the highest standards of integrity and ethics. Below is a quote from the CEO that says every employee, regardless of title or position, is required to assess every business decision and every action on behalf of the company in light of whether it is right, legal, and fair. So that is really the purpose of this training. Let's also talk a bit about our company commitment code. The bank commits to the following: to conduct its affairs to the highest standards of integrity, ethics, fairness, professionalism, and honesty, to treat every comment or complaint concerning the code with respect and confidentiality, and to convey and create a strong ethical culture. We are all accountable for our words and actions. Having a code of conduct and ethics does us little good if we never look at it. To that end, we have annual reviews to ensure it reflects the regulations and needs that drive our business. We also seek to incorporate best practices that we've learned each year. For you, this review will include some annual training and a signed attestation that you understand and commit to living by the code in your work. This attestation is not limited to employees only, but is also signed by every leader in our organization annually. One key area of accountability we all have to the code is to report any violations we witness or suspect. The responsibility for our company's reputation and integrity lies with each of us. Be vocal. Be curious. You are a part of a larger organization that will rely upon you to raise concerns and ask questions. This is how we will all become better. I want to talk for a few minutes about situations that may not be specifically addressed within the code. Do we just throw our hands in the air and leave those to fate? Absolutely not. The code exists to help us guide as a guide in using sound judgment. Our primary answers will usually lie in the laws that surround our business. If you don't know the specific regulations around an issue, ask someone who does know. Investigating and gathering intelligence before making decisions is a fantastic way to support your own development in this company. If you think something you are asked to do may fall across the line of what is legal, just don't do it. Report the request using one of the avenues we will discuss in a few minutes. So using the law as a guideline will work for you in many situations. But what about when it doesn't? Let's talk about applying the principles contained within the code to make the best possible decisions. First, identify if there is even an issue. Gather facts. Find the context of the issue and gather details. Second, review the code and any other policies you have in your department. At this point, you may already have a solution in mind, but it's a good idea to keep moving forward and gathering information. The more you know, the better you are equipped to make a defensible decision. I call step 3 the phone a friend lifeline. In every company and department, there is someone who knows more than you about something. Using sound judgment, ask around. Find out if anyone else has ever ran into the same issue. How did they handle it? Were there consequences to their decision? In step 4, you make your final decision and act on it. Often, the outcome may not be perfect, But if you have done the best you can to protect all parties involved and followed the appropriate steps to justify your decision, it will be easy to explain your logic and reasoning to anyone affected. Now let's take it down to a personal level. You are all hired because we identified something great in each one of you. One of the key characteristics we look for is personal integrity. At the top of your screen is a solid definition of personal integrity. Some people like to use a simple definition as well. Doing the right thing even when no one sees it or knows about it. Part of your personal integrity is tied into certain expectations and rules that are written within the code. These important points are the minimum of what is required of you as employees of this company. If you are charged with a criminal offense, you must report it. You must exercise discretion in the act of receiving gifts. You must maintain professionalism in all settings, including those where alcohol is being consumed. I hear some laughs in the crowd. We do have meetings that involve alcohol, and maintaining your professionalism is your responsibility. Employees must conduct their affairs with fairness and equity by fostering an inclusive culture and a workplace free of harassment, discrimination, and violence. I hope this brief training has provided you with valuable insight as to what the code means to the bank, what our commitment to our culture and ethics is, and what your responsibilities are to living by the code. On this last slide, I provided you with information on how to report a suspected or witnessed code violation. I know, no one likes a rat, but in the case of code violations, the penalties may be severe. Penalties include fines, termination, and even jail time. Your commitment is to help us protect our company and our customers. Use the hotline or website and fulfill your obligation if you ever feel something is not right. All tips are kept confidential. You should have no fear, but just in case, rest assured retaliation is never tolerated. Thank you for your attention.